Hey, it's Dusty back in Grand Theft Auto 3, and this time we are doing the import-export at the Portland Harbor and the first three emergency vehicles for the Portland Harbor. So, the concept of this is taking 16 vehicles on a list, which I will be showing right here, and taking them to the Portland dock and getting some money for them. So what I'm doing here first is trying to find one of the rare vehicles, the rare spawn ones that don't have a fixed location, like the flatbed here, and take that just to kind of get one of the more rare vehicles out of the way immediately. So the Portland Harbor, if you're not aware, is over here near Trenton. I think it's actually the actual area is, it's like in between Trenton and Portland View, but it's its own area listed as the Portland Harbor. So you're going to come down in here and head to the northeastern side of it to find the garage with the list that I just showed and drive them into the garage. You will not be able to drive them into the garage unless it is one of the vehicles on the list. It'll have a little notification popping up saying we're not interested in this vehicle otherwise. Just drive it in here, get out, and walk out, and it will count it as complete. So we will only be getting 14 of the 16 listed here, mostly due to the fact that there's only 14 that you can get at this point in time in the game without glitches or exploits. So that was the flatbed, so now we're coming back here behind it by where this is where we put the emergency vehicles and grabbing a Yankee and taking this in here. So this is a pretty simple side quest of sorts, and it's got a really great reward. I think you get $1,000 per car here and $1,500 per emergency vehicle, and the reward for it is very good. So here, just outside at the entrance to the harbor, we got a mule sitting here next to a perennial and a Kuruma. So we're just going to grab that and take it in here. So I'm going to be doing a mix of fixed spawns and random spawns on the street, just kind of mostly at my convenience as I found it. I'm pretty confident all of the non-rares have a pretty easy fixed spawn location. So here we're getting the line runner, which is just on the south side of the docks. Just as soon as you walk into the entrance, take a right. We're going to take that in. But I don't do every fixed spawn because it's just convenient sometimes to get a random one on the street. So here I am just driving south of the docks and east of Joey. And here in this kind of parking lot area are a couple of coaches. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these and take it in. So yeah, I'm mostly grabbing the fixed spawns that are close to the docks for the most convenience. And also, these are some of these, like the coach, are a little harder to see spawning in the world at random. It's not near as rare as the rare spawns, but it is a little harder than just going to the fixed spawn location. So there we go, that's the coach done. And so now, coming out and heading north, and I just happen to see a moonbeam right there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. There is a fixed moonbeam spawn. It's in St. Mark's. It's under one of the hidden packages and the shotgun and a shotgun spawn near the auto dealership. But I just went ahead and grabbed it there since I was right there. And so now, same thing. I'm heading up towards St. Mark's, and I just happened to find a Rumpo right here. So Rumpo is different from Moonbeam in that it doesn't have the windows on the side, but it's similar shaped, anyways. Rumpo is also the gang vehicle for the Shoreside Vale gangs, the Purple Nines and the Red Sixes. So here I am out in the red light district. I just happened upon a Patriot, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab it. So there's a lot of just kind of aimlessly driving around if you're doing this all at once. So I do recommend doing this just as you play casually. If you just happen to see these vehicles, to go ahead and grab them. I'm doing them all at once, which was a pain. It took me about 2 hours to do it all. There is a fixed Patriot spawn where we did Patriot Playground, but I intentionally didn't want to grab that one. So here over by Joey, there is a fixed spawn for a pony. So forgot about that. Just went ahead and grabbed it as I was coming by. So that's the pony taken care of. And as you can see, we're kind of knocking this out pretty quickly. With these non-rare vehicles, it does go quite fast. It's once you start dealing with the rare ones that it starts becoming a pain in the ass. So here, Portland View, I see a Bobcat. Bobcats are one of the more frequent spawning cars. I don't remember where the fixed location is for it, but it's very easy to just grab whenever you see one and bring it in there. Super common. So that's the Bobcat done. And I think that is about it for the non-rare spawn location cars. I think that's the last one. So now we just have the rare spawns that don't have fixed locations. And so I'm just going to show generally my process for trying to get them to spawn. I just do this straight line driving from Chinatown all the way to Hepburn Heights. Once I hit Hepburn Heights, I turn around and drive back through Chinatown. Just kind of a straight line going back and forth. It's a way to see as many cars as possible without having to do too many twists and turns. It's a relatively major road, and you see here I happen to find a Secura car, which is one of the cars that we need. You can also, after doing the, I think it's the van heist mission for Joey, you'll get a page saying, hey, bring more Secura cars to that location, and you can get some money out of it. So that's something else you can do after you've done the van heist mission if you happen to find some Secura cards. So here I happen to also run into a Trash Master, and my thought process is, well, hey, why don't I try to double dip this? So very clunkily, I try to get the Trash Master in a situation where I can hop out and have time to come and hijack it to kind of get credit for it. So GTA 3 has an interesting kind of vehicle saving system where I think it's like the 3 most recent vehicles that you've driven will be saved in the world, like in the RAM or something, before being overwritten. So what I'm trying to do here is get in the Trash Master, drive it a little bit, and park it off the road just in case it doesn't despawn due to traffic, and then take the Secura car, dump it, and come back and hope that the Trash Master is still there. This is not the most necessary way of getting these cars, but I figured, you know, try and stone 2 birds at the same time and get them both taken care of. So there's the Secura car taken care of, and now I'm just going to run back up, and I think I see it off there in the distance thinking, oh, is that the Trash Master? Is it still there? And yep, there it is. So thankfully it did work in my favor. I'm not perfect on how that 3 cars at a time thing works. I could be wrong on that, because it seems like it hasn't worked in my favor sometimes, but a lot of times it has. Like if I'm doing ambulance, the car I drove up on to get the ambulance is just there the entire time I'm doing it. So I don't know, it's very strange. It worked in my favor this time. Like I said, other times it hasn't. But yeah, that was nice. And that's 12 out of 16. We only got 2 more left to get in this video. And here I am driving, doing my loop back and forth, and I just happened to find a bus, which is another one of the rare vehicle spawns. I don't know why it took me as long as it did to find one of these. I tend to find these everywhere until I'm having to look for one, and then I can't find them anywhere, but there we go, that's the bus taken care of. So at this point in time, all I'm missing is the Mr. Whoopi, which is the most rare, and I'm just having a real time trying to find it, so I figure I'm just going to hop over and do emergency vehicles instead, while I'm trying to look for one. So, with the emergency vehicles, similar concept, we're going to take every single emergency vehicle in the game and take it to that area just south of the import-export spot where I got the, I think it was the Mule? No, it was the Yankee. And pay no mind to that totally not destroyed ambulance I passed a second ago. That was not me trying to do the ambulance first and messing up a minute prior. But here we go, there's this, this kind of yellow-lined area, and you can't see the crane because it looks like my graphic mods have a problem with that, which is unfortunate, but there is a little crane with a magnet that's supposed to come and pick them up, and they'll wheel them over and put them on that ship in the distance. So I've heard mixed things about whether or not you can just immediately walk away and it'll still count or not, or if it'll like despawn the vehicle, kind of like when I was doing the rampage and I got that car on fire but it despawned so it didn't blow up and count for me. So I just like to sit here and stare and wait until it gives me my 1500. And yeah, that's the emergency vehicle. So we're only going to be doing 3 in this video. You can technically do 4 at this point in time in Portland, but I don't really want to go through the process of getting a 4-star wanted level and getting the enforcer to show up. So I figure I'll just stick to fixed spawns for now and do just the 3 that are readily available in Portland, which is the police car, the ambulance, and the fire truck. So yeah, rewards. So yeah, you get a payout for each one that you successfully deliver, and I think you get another massive payout when they're all done. I don't remember if that's true or not, so forgive me if it's not. But the other reward you get for completing all 3 of the lists, there's the Portland Harbor list, the Shoreside Vale list, and the emergency vehicle list, is you have the ability to come and retrieve any one of these vehicles that you take to the import-export lot, which is very nice, especially in Shoreside Vale when you get all the supercars. So yeah, this is the fire truck, the last one that we're going to be getting here. Like I said, you can get the Enforcer if you get a 4-star wanted level, but given that I only have 2 bribe tokens in my hideout, and granted there is the one that's in between Chinatown and Red Light that I can get to bring it down to 1 star, I just don't really feel like it's worth my time or effort right now. I'd rather focus on fixed spawns, so I'm just only going to get the 3 that you can easily get in Portland. So yeah, I got all 3, wasn't able to find a Mr. Whoopi in that time, so I did my last resort on trying to get one to spawn, and that is spamming Firefighter. So if you remember in Firefighter, I did find a lot of Mr. Whoopies and just didn't get them and just kept going, which realistically, while you're doing Firefighter, if you see a Mr. Whoopi or a Ballista, which I'll talk about here in a second, go ahead and get those out of the way right then and there. Don't worry about your Firefighter streak. It's way more important to get these rare vehicles instead. So what I'm doing is I'm just activating Firefighter, driving to the car's location, seeing if it is a Ballista or a Mr. Whoopi, because you actually can get a Ballista to spawn during Firefighter. It is the only time you can ever get them to spawn in Portland, but I'm just doing the Mr. Whoopi for now. Yeah, go to the location, see if it is a Ballista or a Mr. Whoopi. If it's not, turn off the Firefighter, or put out the fire if you want. I just wanted to not do any more than I needed to. Reactivate Firefighter, go to the location, see if it is one of those cars again. If not, turn it off, turn it back on, and keep going until you find it. I did this for probably 20 or 30 minutes. It was an absolute nightmare. I could not get anything to spawn until finally, here we go. I finally found a Mr. Whoopi. I was so relieved. This was about 2 hours or more of recording, just trying to get all of these vehicles. It was a real pain in the ass, and I'm sitting here the whole time thinking, man, I really wish I would have just said, screw trying to get the 20 streak on the Firefighter. I'm just going to get the Mr. Whoopi now. But here I am celebrating with the nice little ice cream jingle. And, man, I know why this happened, but man, if this isn't the most frustrating thing ever. I'm driving, and I hear 2 Mr. Whoopies, and I turn, and there's another Mr. Whoopi spawning in the wild. I know the reason for it is probably because when you're in a vehicle, copies of it are more likely to start spawning because it's the vehicle you're in, but all the same, what a kick in the nuts. I finally spend 2 hours getting a Mr. Whoopi, and as I'm driving just outside the Portland dock, there's another one just waiting for me. So, really frustrating, really annoying, but it's done, so that's all that matters. So yay, we got our 14 out of 16. All that's left is Dodo and the Ballista. The Ballista doesn't spawn until the other 2 islands, and the Dodo is only in Shoreside Vale. So what I'm doing is I'm going to show a little exploit on how to get to Staunton Island and Shoreside Vale early. So here I am driving up the broken Callahan Bridge, and I'm going to jump across and make it to Staunton Island. So this only works before Staunton Island is available, this exploit, because if Staunton Island is readily available, then the wall that I will show here in a minute will move, and you cannot get to Shoreside. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down to the skirter and walk, or the strut I guess, and walk all the way down to where it becomes almost vertical, and then you're going to angle yourself to that little steel bar over there, try and line it up, and jump across to it. Thankfully, this only took me 2 tries. It's a real pain to have to reload your save and drive all the way back over here just to try it again, so only having it take 2 tries was really nice. And now you can just run straight over to Staunton Island, which is super convenient. So now what you can do, you see I'm in a Ballista, is come over here to the north side of Staunton Island. You'll see the Fort Staunton construction site just there to the south. Come over here, and this is the tunnel that takes you underground to go back and forth between all 3 islands. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive over and come look at the wall that is blocking the tunnel between Portland and Staunton Island. Because how it works with them blocking you in the early game is there's just a wall that sits there that you cannot bypass. I know there are a couple of glitches that will get you through it, but I don't really know them. There's also the super jump glitch that'll get you across. That's really great for speedrunning, but I don't know how to do that, so I'm just showing the exploit that's easy for any newcomer. So there's this wall here, and what happens when you unlock Staunton Island is there aren't 2 walls, there's 1 wall, and what they do is they just move the wall from the Portland side to the Shoreside Vale side. And so you can see here there's no traffic and there's no wall because the game hasn't registered that these islands are available yet, and the wall is still on the Portland side, so we can drive straight to Shoreside Vale. And you see now once I hit Shoreside Vale, the traffic is there because there's no programming block to stop traffic from spawning in the tunnel in an area that the player's not supposed to have access to yet, but since Shoreside's its own entity, I guess it works like normal. Yeah, so we're driving over to Shoreside. Really probably should have followed traffic laws and stayed in the ongoing lane instead of the oncoming lane, but whatever. And so here I am showing you that you can get here even when you have Luigi as your mission giver. Very, very beginning of the game. You can come into both islands. You can get the Ballista to spawn via Firefighter, like I said, and you can come drive over here all the way to the western side of the Francis International Airport and get a Dodo. This is the fixed Dodo spawn in the early game. And fly this all the way back to Portland and get your import-export list completed before even doing the first Luigi mission. So that's a way you can do that. If you're good at flying the Dodo, I am not, as you will see. And yeah, that'll about do it for this video. Didn't do all of them, did 14 out of 16, but I showed you how you can get all 16, and did 3 out of the 7 emergency vehicles, which you can technically get 4, but I don't. That'll do it for this one, so thank you everybody for watching. And yeah, that's another Portland cleanup done in the books. So we'll see you next time.